Emeritus Newsbrief, I'm Lynn Huston. Unlike some banks, GMAC, which just became a bank, has decided to use some of the federal bailout money for car loans. GMAC says it is willing to loan to those with credit scores of 621 and higher. Before GMAC's designation as a bank, the previous standard was a credit rating of 700. The loans are available for both new and certified used cars. More on the Emeritus News consumer page. Manufacturing has reached another low in the most recent figures from the Institute of Supply Management. New orders have contracted for the last 13 consecutive months and are at the lowest level on record going back to January of 1948. Order backlogs have fallen to the lowest level since the ISM began tracking that in January of 1993. A survey from the Congressional Budget Office shows that those who did lose a manufacturing job experience longer spells of unemployment and a greater loss of income. Both of those stories on the Emeritus News business page. And the CBO says that the cost of medical care itself is responsible for taking a greater share of the U.S. gross domestic product, not aging baby boomers. The CBO survey says federal spending on Medicare and Medicaid will increase from about 4% of the GDP this year to nearly 6% in 2019 and 12% in 2050. Most of that increase will result in growth in per capita costs rather than from the aging population. More on this story on the Emeritus News healthcare page. The large elderly home management firm SunWest is running into more financial problems. 14 centers and the company's CEO have filed for bankruptcy. But SunWest Management says its company has not filed for bankruptcy. 7 of the centers have been sold under pressure from the General Electric Credit Corporation. SunWest Management says the bankruptcy filings will not affect the quality of care. More information on the Emeritus News healthcare page. And the 111th Congress is set to begin next Tuesday. On the agenda for immediate action, a financial stimulus bill, cabinet confirmations, and Senate controversies over President-elect Obama's Senate replacement and the possible Senate filibuster over the Minnesota Senate race. Comedian Al Franken is leading incumbent Republican Norm Coleman in a recount by less than 50 votes. The race could be determined by 1,350 absentee ballots that had been rejected. The latest on the biggest issues and public policy at emeritusnews.com. That's an Emeritus News Brief. I'm Lynn Huston.